property in Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. And the moment he made that revelation, they pressed the calculator for his stamp duty. And they said, you have to pay stamp duty on it. And he said, no, this is the first time I'm buying property in the UK, but you own a property in Nigeria, you just said it. That's it. So, straight away, disqualified as a first-time buyer. We Africans, we like bragging about what we have. I've got a big mansion in Nigeria, man. Come on. This is chicken change. This is nothing. This house is too small compared to my house in Nigeria. Fantastic. Let's have some of that cash. So if you own a property anywhere in the world, you are not eligible for the government bonus on this Help to Buy ISA. And you must not have any other active cash ISA in the same year, in the same tax year. So if you have another cash ISA in the same tax year, you are not eligible for this. But what you can do is that you can close that cash ISA that you have and transfer the balance into your Help to Buy ISA. So that becomes your only ISA that you have within that tax year. But if it goes into the next tax year, the cash ISA you have for the last tax year will no longer count. So you are eligible if it goes into the next tax year and then you open your Help to Buy cash ISA. Even though you've had a cash ISA the previous tax year, you become eligible. So there must not be two cash ISAs opened in the same year. If you have another cash ISA, you are not eligible for the Help to Buy cash ISA. So if you opened and paid into another cash ISA in the same tax year, you can transfer up to £1,200 from that cash ISA into your new Help to Buy ISA account, and then transfer the rest of the funds in the cash ISA into another account. So basically, that other cash ISA must not be active. That's the key word. So you can have stocks and shares ISA or portfolio ISA in the same tax year as your Help to Buy ISA, but not another. So basically, this Help to Buy ISA is treated as a cash ISA. Therefore, it must not be running alongside another cash ISA in the same tax year. But you can have stocks and shares ISA and another portfolio ISA, but not another cash ISA. Next slide, please. So the Help to Buy ISA, the property you want to use this towards, has to be eligible in the following ways. It must be a property in the UK. The property purchase price must be up to £250,000 or £450,000 if it's in London. So if the property is valued over £250,000, that property is not eligible for you to use the Help to Buy cash ISA towards it. So it's a property up to £250,000. So it could be less than £250,000, but not more. One of my disappointed clients came in and said, I had this Help to Buy ISA and I thought I could use it towards my property, and I realized the property price, we negotiated for £285,000. It really hurts. And I said, well, the rule is the rule. It's as long as it's over £250,000, you cannot take advantage of that. And he was really ruining the loss of that £3,000 from the government because he was qualified for it and he was looking forward to it, for that support from the government. But the property price was £285,000 and he couldn't take advantage of that. So bear that in mind. But if it's a property in London, it's a property up to £450,000. And that property has to be the only home you will own. Excuse me. So you cannot rent out your existing property and then want to buy a new one with the Help to Buy ISA. It has to be the only home you will own, and it has to be the home you are going to live in. So that's where you intend to live. And that property has to be purchased with a mortgage, not available for cash purchases. It has to be purchased with a mortgage for the property to be eligible. Next slide, please. All right, so that's Help to Buy ISA. Before I'm going to talking about shared ownership, is there any question on Help to Buy ISA that anybody wants to ask on that? Or should I leave the question at the end?
No.
Okay, let's take the questions. Okay.
You mentioned earlier that it's not per household.
Yeah.
It's per every first time buyer. So in a household where, say, the man or the woman has a property, the other partner who hasn't, who obviously is the first time buyer, can they then benefit from?
Okay. As long as one of them owns the property and they are married, they cannot. Because marriage confers on both people equal rights to any property, whether or not your name is on the mortgage deed. Yeah? So as long as they are married, they cannot use the Help to Buy ISA as first-time buyers, as long as they are married and one of them owns a property. So it's per first-time buyer, not per house.
Just on that question, sorry. So if let's say the husband, for example, had a property,
Yeah.
but is married after they got married, but he doesn't own a property. Then when they got married, is one of them entitled to it?
The husband had a property.
Yeah, so it's not qualified for first-time buyer because he had one. And
As
now
long as he had a property,
yeah.
he's not a first-time buyer.
No.
He's trying to
But-
ask if the woman.
Okay.
Yeah, the woman now,
Yeah.
she's entitled to that scheme of the government.
As long as that woman is married to the man.
But the marriage is off. Let's say I sold my property last year and I got married this year.
You sold the property.
Last year and I
Okay.
got married this year.
If you sold the property, then you don't own the property anymore. Yeah?
No.
Because basically, if, for example, with stamp duty, if you have a property and you sell the property to buy another property, you can actually reclaim your stamp duty within 3 years. Because you sold that property, you're no longer a property owner. So if you no longer own that property and you sold the property, there is no property in the background, so you're no longer a property owner. You or your wife can actually partake in the Help to Buy ISA because there is no longer a property in the background. But as long as there is a property in the background anywhere in the world, you're no longer a first-time buyer. So you'll be treated as a first-time buyer if there is no property in the background. Yeah.
Concerning the Help to Buy, I've heard that apart from, as you are just explaining, apart from ISA scheme, is there any another way that government also help people, like Help to Buy? Because someone told me that even if you find a house and let's say the property is about 200,000 and you want to go for it, as long as you have the deposit 5%, government will help you 25% as a first buyer.
I'll come to that because it's part of what I'm going to talk about. Yeah? So it's a different kind of Help to Buy scheme. It's called Help to Buy Equity Loan Scheme. Yeah, and that after shared ownership, that's the next one I'm going to talk about. So it's going to be clear.
Also, I heard that, as you just even explained, it should be a new house. Or, because someone just told me yesterday that now they have changed it, and even that 5% you can buy any house. So I want to know.
You get all that information when we start talking about Help to Buy equity. So don't worry, yeah? Don't jump. Sorry, the other thing I wanted to also bring to your attention, sorry, before I take a question, on Help to Buy ISA scheme is that ISA account is going to be closing at the end of November 2019. They will stop taking new account openings. So if you haven't opened your Help to Buy ISA, tomorrow, Monday morning, in fact, Metro works tomorrow, on Sunday. You can even go to Metro Bank and open it tomorrow. Because by 30th of November, they will stop taking new ISA savings on this Help to Buy scheme. And if you open it in 2019, you can pay into it up until 2029. So you have a 10-year window. Within that 10 years, if you save up to the amount you want to buy your property, you can buy a property anytime within that 10-year window. And the last redemption of that bonus has to be by December 2030. Yeah? So take note of these timelines and plan accordingly. So you still have 1 month, and make sure you take advantage of. If you have any dream of buying a home and you want to use this scheme to boost your chances, go and open that ISA account before the end of November and then save into it for the next 10 years. Right?
You mentioned about the ISA. You save £12,000 and then the government have £3,000. That £3,000, is it mainly for brokerage fee and then stamp duty? And then, because £3,000 to the house value, which is, let's say, £200,000, it's kind of nothing, let's say, so to say. So, is this attractive in effect?
So let me correct that misconception now. The Help to Buy ISA is not meant for you to save the whole value of the property, in your Help to Buy ISA. The government is basically just helping you to save up the deposits, at least, to buy that property. You still have to go and do the main mortgage. So that £3,000 cannot be used to pay solicitor